You listening to rockslamradio.com. From all studios to the world, we bring you the finest in quality entertainment. So grab a groupie, throw some horns, and settle in for another fine show from rockslamradio.com.
This is the Tbonez Rock Show on rockslamradio.com, where each week I bring you the finest, most talented bands, musicians, and anything related to the live music scene in the Tampa Bay area and beyond. Hello, welcome to Tbonez Rock Show. Here tonight with Arthur Treacher of Rock Slam, Mr. Jim Gravely. How are you, Jim?
Doing pretty well. How are you doing,
Arthur
Terry?
Treacher, don't you?
No.
He was the sidekick
Chip guy.
Merv Griffin. He was the Merv Griffin sidekick.
Arthur
Co-host.
Treacher?
Arthur Treacher, yeah.
No, he's the fish and chip guy.
Okay, somebody needs to call in and straighten us out on that. He had fish and chips after.
I'll look it up on the web.
Yeah, he had fish and chips after he had Merv Griffin.
Did he
Anyway,
really?
we had a great weekend, long weekend. Thursday we did, what did we do Thursday?
Tampa Bay Downs, we did the lights for Cross-Eyed Larry. They were on the show last Monday.
It was Rocktoberfest there, and they were just, really wrapping it up. They did good.
Yeah, they did very well. You were there, Dave.
Well, let
What'd
me
you
say
think?
this. I was a spectator there, and I was very impressed with the light show. I was asking Jimmy from the band, I said, man, is this all your lights, man? He goes, no, man. We got Jim Grave and them in here doing our lights. I said, man, that's really cool. That's really
Lasers
cool.
looked really good up on that.
And then I was watching you
roof,
run
didn't
it on the computer, and I'm going like, I'm glad I ain't got to do this.
It's
Because I wouldn't
easy
know
when
what
you
the
know
hell
where
I'm
everything
doing.
is.
So.
That was fun.
That was very impressive, guys.
Thank you.
Jim wouldn't let me sit in the chair. He got up to do something. I sat in the chair, and he, give me a sit there. Let me sit
I'd
there.
run back.
Okay, no problem. No problem. Go right ahead.
No, he did a great job. He does lights for Floyd some all the time.
You only let me do them for
That'd be
about
your
2
band.
minutes, and then I was out of that chair. You were going to throw me out, I think.
No.
You had that look in
You
your
were
eye.
there for at least 2.5 minutes.
You had that look in your eye. Then Friday, what did we do Friday? Well, we went to Orlando, a road trip to Orlando.
Yeah, take a look at a bunch of lights.
Yeah, we went to the
Imagine
best
that.
part of town. There was a lot of very, very large
Yeah.
women with very, very skimpy outfits on. I'm not sure what it
Let
was
me
all
guess,
about.
you were near the football stadium there.
And we don't know where we
I
were.
don't know where we were.
It just-
All I can say is I'm glad you came back alive,
when
boys.
we got
Yeah,
when
it
we
was-
got hungry, we decided to wait a little while to get out of
Yeah,
town
we didn't
before
wanna
we
go to
stopped.
the-
Yeah.
to the chicken and waffles place or something, you know. Then Friday night we played at the Seaside with and Jeff was there. I think who else was there? Man, there was a lot of musicians there that night.
Oh,
I
there
was there.
quite a few.
Yep.
Yeah, I was there.
Jimmy Lee was
Martial
there.
Law
Martial Law was
represented.
there,
Yeah.
right.
Definitely.
Jim from
Trunk-
Cross-Eyed Larry was
Trunk
there.
Band.
Yeah.
What was that keyboard? Peter. I wish I could remember.
It's all right.
Yeah.
He'll give you 4 minutes.
It wasn't
You
Peter
can-
Frampton, though.
No, it wasn't
He's
Peter
a
Frampton.
guitar player.
Yeah,
He was there Saturday.
He'll be
night.
there next week. Yeah, he'll be there next week. And then, let's see, Friday night we did Seaside. Then Saturday night we did Kick and Wing. That was always a good time.
Yeah,
Kick and Wing.
yeah.
Had a
Rock
blast
Slam
there.
does stuff up there all the time.
Yeah, they do their comedy shows there.
Yeah, they're gonna have a comedy show there December 21st, the last day on Earth.
Yeah.
So if you want to laugh while
Yeah.
everything's coming to an end,
Laugh your
just,
way off.
yeah,
the
just
earth.
go up to Kick and Wings.
Yeah.
They got a big comedy show.
Tonight, our very special guest is Dave Cook and the Bent Fender Band. Hello, Dave. Hello,
Hello,
Bent
folks.
Fender.
How you
Hello.
doing?
Yes, I bent the fender on the way in.
Yes. And I'm really pissed about it, too, man. And,
Is that why you got Yamahas?
No, I got the Yamahas because they're the good guitars, but now I got to get my fenders fixed.
The Dave Cook Band plays country, southern rock, classic rock with a flair. Members of Dave Cook Band are Dave Cook, my far right, on vocals and rhythm guitar.
Hello,
Jimmy Lee, vocals, bass guitar. Not present tonight, and we will definitely pick on these guys. Fred Walker,
Yeah.
lead guitar. Rick DeShaw, drums, and Bob Haas on keyboards and vocals.
I call him Bob the Animal House because if you ever see us play together,
Oh, yeah.
Bob is an animal, and his last name's spelled kind of like house, so we call him Bob the Animal House.
Is it House or Haas?
I call him House. I think
Yeah, it's House.
I think it's actually Howes,
Yeah.
but I call him the Animal House. So you know,
H-O-W-E-S.
Good keyboard player, anyway.
he's
Oh, yeah.
incredible, man. We're lucky to have him.
If you'd like to talk to the members of the Dave Cook and the Bent Fender Band, call in at 727-597-402, or you can hit us up on Facebook at T-Bone Entertainment. Hit the like button, type in your questions, and Jim will probably answer you back.
Probably.
Probably. Most likely. Dave,
Yes, sir.
Your hometown is Andalusia,
That's Andalusia, Alabama.
Andalusia, Alabama.
That's right.
And you were born there, sir?
Not actually. I was. My father graduated from Auburn University, War Eagle. Although this year is kind of tough for us, but anyway, he was up working at an Air Force base in Goldsboro, North Carolina, where he met my mother, and then we moved around a lot. So I was born in actually Newport News, Virginia. We moved around to a lot of naval bases the first 5 or 6 years of my life. So that's where I was born, and then we settled in South Alabama in 1971 or 2, which is where my dad actually graduated high school.
You were considered a military brat then, I guess?
Not really, because my father wasn't in the military, but Westinghouse contracted with the military.
Okay.
So he just didn't want us to be moving around when we were in school. So by the time I turned 5 or 6, it was time for him to settle down, and he went into electrical plumbing contracting business in South Alabama, and he still lives there to this day with my mom. So.
Did anybody in your family musical? Did your dad play guitar, sing?
Not really. Both of my parents sing. They're in the church choirs and stuff like that, but they never really played instruments. And what really got me into music was, I remember the night. It was the Live from Hawaii Elvis satellite show that we watched on my black and white television.
Very cool.
I will never forget it. Yeah. And I became an instant Elvis Presley fan in the early 70s. And as I was growing up, I bought every Elvis album and 45 that I could buy and wanted to be like Elvis, you know.
Yeah.
And so I took a few guitar lessons when I was in the 4th grade and then never touched a guitar again until I was in college.
Well, that answers my next question. At what age did you start playing?
Well, you can't count the 4th grade because, I learned 3 chords and then, sports took over and I never touched the guitar again. But my middle name is Carlton. I'm named after my dad's best friend. He owns a music store in Goldsboro, North Carolina, where my parents met. And I called him when I was in college, and I said, "Look, will you send me a guitar for my birthday?" And and he gave me a good deal on one. And as a matter of fact, it was a Yamaha, one of the cheaper ones, right? And I just, at the time, just wanted to be able to play along on the radio with songs I like to hear. And so the very first song I ever learned on the radio was a Keith Whitley song, And then, of course, Poison, Every Rose Has Its Thorn, when they came out, that was an easy one. There's about the same key. And so I was just doing that and just having fun with that. But then karaoke kind of got hot in the early 90s, back when they had the big laser discs and the goofy videos behind. Well,
and the words in front of them.
So I got into that, right? And as I got into that, I just kept saying, I'd like to play, at least be able to play these songs I'm singing. I never had any aspirations of playing in front of people, which takes me... Which is how Jim Gravely and I are linked. Okay, there's a connection. So as I, did karaoke and stuff, I went to graduate school and got a physical therapy degree. Moved down here, took a job in Newport Richey at Ewing Thomas Physical Therapy. Was my very first job out of physical therapy school, and started, doing karaoke down here. And moved away for a year and a half. Came back in the early 2000s. That's where I met Jim Gravely, and we were at Rosie's. Right.
Rosie's up on 52 and 19.
Yes, we used
no longer there.
Right. No, we used to go up there and do karaoke, and they would have the featured artist of the week, the featured karaoke artist of the week. You had to earn that, and it was usually John Wayne Wilkinson or somebody, But I was very honored they had asked me to do it, and it just happened to be around my dad's birthday. And I'd been playing a little bit, and learning some songs, and so Jim had an electric acoustic guitar, and I said, Jim, let me borrow your electric acoustic. Maybe I'll do like 2 or 3 songs, in my 6 or 8 song set, And I'd never played the guitar in front of people before in my life. I was nervous, scared. It's like at home you can play it when you're not playing in front of people. I was scared, nervous. And I picked songs I knew, but then he's got this round back ovation, and I'm sitting on a stool, and I've never played a round back ovation before, and it's sliding off my leg. Okay, you got to get this. I'm already scared crapless, okay, because I'm having to play a guitar and sing at the same time, which is the first time I'd ever done that. Plus, I really had never sung in front of my parents before. For some reason, I was scared to. And so I had to get over that, too. And that guitar is sliding down my leg while I'm trying to play my songs. And so I was terrified as all hell. But we got through it.
You did great, too. You really did.
But I was about to crap in my pants the whole time because that guitar is falling off my leg.
Nobody knew that, though, did they?
As I'm nervous. They probably
I don't think anybody knew it.
Nobody noticed you were nervous.
They could look at my face probably. But anyway, I got through it, and that's kind of where it started. And then I met, the band Wally Fox, and I'm a big country fan too. So when I met them, I started going out and listening to them, and then they started letting me get up and sing a song or two with the band, and I learned more songs. And then John Wayne Wilkinson, I knew him for a while, and then one night he fired a guitar guy and asked me to sit in the last set. That turned into 6 months with the band with him. And
he's another very good singer from the Hudson area.
Yes, absolutely wonderful singer.
Yeah. All these people you're talking about, the Emery brothers, we had them on the show.
Right.
Yeah.
They're very good performers, and they're all located around that same area.
Right. Formerly of
around-
the Wally Fox. I mean, Wally Fox played for like 25 years or something. I mean, as the Wally Fox band. And they were really the first band that I met around here that, I really liked. So those are like the people that kind of helped pique my interest, is karaoke. It was Elvis, then it was karaoke, then I played your guitar, and then it kind of went going. Wally Fox, singing with them, and then there'd be nights where maybe somebody got sick in Wally Fox, and I might play 5 or 6 songs at the end of the night, whatever happened. And then, I met some other people and got involved with them. Katie Donahue being one, had met her. She used to use karaoke tracks when she would go out and sing, and now, she's married to Jesse Embry now. Okay. But I'd met her out,
She's a great singer, too.
She's a very good singer.
Very good.
And so after we had played the Shady Hills Festival together, I think we were back to back, and we didn't really know each other, and she approached me about maybe playing some songs with her. So we would go out and do like a 12-song set, and I would sing, some duets with her and whatever. And then
You played with Adrian Ray, too, didn't
I
you?
have not played with Adrian Ray as a partner. No, I've just sat in with him a couple of times. He's a guy I met later in the process. But, playing with Katie, we were in the Moose Lodge, the West Pasco Moose, one day, and they had such a great crowd. And I was like, you know what? I would love to play for this crowd. So I said, Katie, can I play one song before you shut it down? And I played Trashy Women for them. And then I went up to the bartender, Jody Best, if you're out there, one of my good friends. I said, Jody, this crowd's so awesome. I'll come in here and play for free for the tip jug if you'll just get me in here. And she got me in there, and that turned into, that night I think I made $80 in the tip jug.
That was basically your first paying gig.
That
Then,
was
right?
my first paid gig, and I played for free and made $80 in the tip jug. And then you know what I did? I was so happy. I bought everybody in the house a drink.
$160 worth of drinks.
Easy come, easy go.
But it was great. I mean, I learned 30. I knew a few songs. I could do a lot of karaoke stuff, but I'll tell you, I learned 30 songs in 1 week that I knew how to sing, but I had never played on the guitar. Mm-hmm. I learned 30 songs a week, went in there, did it, and then it just kind of has gone from there. And then started doing open jams and met some other people,
It seemed easy for you to pick up songs on the guitar then, right?
Yeah, I play by ear. So it's like I took one class, or actually 2 quarters in college on classical guitar, and looking at a page and reading it is a lot harder. I mean, I can hear it. If I know the chord progression, I can usually figure it out, Now, I still am not good with the transitional chords, the jazz chords, or whatever. I'm still learning. It's great that I got great guys in my band that already know all that stuff. They teach me all the time, and I ask for their, constructive criticism. Tell me, I'm the least experienced musician in my band, So,
But we love you.
yeah, I appreciate it.
We have a comment
Fuzzy.
put on T-Bone Entertainment's site from Jim G of Cross-Eyed Larry. He says, "Hey guys, good luck for opening for Skinner."
Yes. Wednesday night.
Oh yeah.
Did I?
Yeah.
Did I?
No. You
No.
didn't get the
Drop
cat
a
out of the
line
bag.
here.
No.
We're going to talk about that extensively.
Yeah.
We'll definitely do that. But I just,
Jim's a cool guy.
I just wanted to make sure, kind of going through the progression. There's so many people that were involved in this local area that really got me into playing music, and you were the first. I mean, beyond karaoke, borrowing your guitar that night was really broke the ice for me of actually playing in front of people. I was so scared to do it, and play and sing at the same time. I could sing karaoke, and I wouldn't, that didn't bother me. But playing the guitar and having to think about it, back then I had to think a lot more than I do now. Luckily, I can go through chord progressions without really having to look down at the guitar. But back then, I really had to look at it.
Was Jim playing guitar that night too?
I don't know.
Yes. Well, see, back then, when we did karaoke, I would go up and sing a little bit, but most of the time I brought up my guitar.
Yeah.
And I played a song
Yeah.
and sang it. I felt a lot more comfortable doing it that way.
And Jim, was that was way back before you had your band that you got now, right?
Well, karaoke is what got me into being able to perform. I was always so afraid to get up on stage.
Yeah.
But Lydia, remember Lydia and John?
Yep. She actually sent me a message the other day. Yeah.
Yeah, Lydia. She was a real promoter of music, both live music and karaoke. And even when we were walking that place and we're like, "No, we're not going to sing tonight," she'd always get us up there, and we'd want to be up there.
Yeah.
And that's how she ended up getting me up there again, because I'm just not much of a singer. Much rather play guitar.
Well, isn't it funny how far this has come? Because we both started there. You and I did.
Yeah,
and you were very much a part of getting me going. And I have so much respect and appreciation for you. I really do. I always
appreciate
have.
that very much.
It means a lot to me.
That's good.
And you show it, and I do appreciate it. Thank you.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate everybody. The Embry Brothers, that whole band, Katie Donahue, John Wayne Wilkinson. I mean, everybody that has been a part, of giving me the courage to do it, because I was still really scared and self-doubting, and I still do to this day. I'm my worst critic. But if it wasn't for people like y'all, I wouldn't be doing this, I mean, I'm having a blast with it, man, so it's great.
I think performing, when you perform like that, or when I perform like that, it gets me high, a high unlike alcohol or drugs can get you.
It's an adrenaline thing. I'm sure.
It's adrenaline and it's endorphins and all that other stuff flowing, and that's what keeps me doing it. I just love it, and I don't want to stop, because I know once I stop, I won't get started again.
Dave, if you had to pick any country rock artist, who would it be as your favorite?
People ask me that all the time, and it's hard for me to say who my favorite is. I can tell you who's influenced me the most in the past, but I have so many favorites. Like I told you, Elvis Presley was really the first influence for me, and then in the 80s, as I was going, I'm that old. As I was going through high school, it was the bands like Alabama and Restless Heart and Exile, the harmony bands, the bands that really changed a little bit of the country sound that I really liked as I was coming through high school. And we really didn't have, you'd think in South Alabama we'd have a great country station. I don't know, we listened to station out of Enterprise, which is more pop or rock. It wasn't even really rock. It was too pop, really. But anyway, I really didn't get introduced to the real good country music until later in life. I went from just hearing the most popular songs that might have been on the radio to just like an Alabama and Restless Heart and people like that, and then Randy Travis and Alan Jackson came out. And then when I went to college, this is what happened to me. Now, look, I'm wearing an LA Gun shirt, okay?
Yeah.
I knew you were on the dark side one time or another.
I come in here and I'm wearing an LA Gun shirt. I went to college and I had not even heard a lot of rock and roll music. And I got introduced to people from Birmingham and other cities that knew a lot of rock and roll. And let me tell you something, 80s rock lit a fire under me now.
Yeah.
And
good stuff.
And I just loved it to death. And that's really what I was listening to a lot in college. However, we would go to this bar in Birmingham that was owned by these old country folks, and they had a great jukebox. So I would get to hear a lot of the classic country songs that I might not have really ever heard before. So I kind of developed a combination of things that I liked. We always liked Leonard Skinner and stuff like that, the classic rock stuff. But I got introduced to a lot of music in college that I'd never heard. And so now, like my taste in music is so diverse, but when I say it's diverse between classic country and hard rock.
Right.
But it ain't the new country, like, the Rascal Flatts crap that's on the radio. I mean, that to me is not country. That's pop. I don't like pop music. I don't want pop music on my country radio. You know, I mean, we like our Hank Juniors, and people like me like Hank Jr. and some of the newer guys like Jason Aldean and Justin Moore, and you know, people that still hang on to the country roots. Even Luke Bryan, even though he's doing kind of a newer type of songs, he's still a farm boy. He grew up on a farm. He sings about farm things, country things, you know, and he's keeping it country, even with a little bit newer genre. Red Akins is probably, as far as a country artist and writer, is one that was one of my most influential to me, making me want to sing and play more. And he's writing tons of #1 songs for every other artist on the radio now. You know, he had about 3 albums with Decca Records in the mid to late 90s, but now he's making his money writing, you know, for Luke Bryan and Joe Nichols. I mean, I could name you off a ton. He's got 5 cuts on Justin Moore's new album. I mean, you know, what he's doing now is just incredible. And those are the people I look up to. I mean, I respect the writers. I don't write. I mean, I got into music so late. I got into working, so I don't have time. I don't have creative time right now. You know, that's the thing I don't have. But I pay attention to writers. I look at song structure. I listen to chord progressions, and I respect them with a lot of my heart. You know, I mean, I really, that draws me in, and I always look at the credits and stuff, and I appreciate that. And I hope at some point in time I can quit the day job and have more
We
time.
all do, Dave.
And have more time to be creative.
Yeah, I understand.
You know.
Now, you just got back from Nashville, right? What were you doing, recording up there? Or
No. I was up there to watch Auburn lose another football game.
Oh.
But,
well, you know, you could have come up with a big story there, you know?
but you know,
Missed opportunity.
But the reason why I went up there, honestly, I always look for an excuse to go to Nashville, and because I've been going for several years, and you know, I remember when Craig Campbell, who had a successful first album this past year, I remember when I met him playing keyboards for Tracy Byrd. And Tracy Byrd let him sing one song. And I was like, oh, my God, that guy's got a great voice, you know, and he's an incredible keyboard player. And then for 6 years, I'm going to watch him on the Strip down in Nashville, and just a big fan of his. And finally, the right guy got behind him. Keith Stegall, another great writer in Nashville, got behind him, helped promote him. And, you know, his first 2 songs he wrote on the radio, and they, you know, one of them went, I don't think it went #1, but it charted very high. It was top 10. And so he's off to a great start. But, you know, I got to see great people this weekend. Buddy Owens is another one that has written songs for, you know, like Mark Chestnut's cut some of his stuff, and several other guys downtown. He's co-written with guys that you've heard on the radio. And, you know, and a buddy of mine from down here in Tampa Bay, Kevin Stover, he played down at the old Dallas Bull for a long time. You know, I took him up to Fanfare one year in Nashville. And he already knew a few people up there, but I introduced him to a couple of guys, and shoot, he ended up moving up there, and he's been up there for several years now, you know, writing songs and playing on the Strip. And so I just love to go there, man. I love to walk around downtown, see, you know, I quit going to the concerts, man. You go down to the football stadium, you got, you know, 70,000 people in there. I hate that kind of venue. Mm-hmm. You know, I like to go downtown to each individual bar and see the guys that I know that are still working their butts off for a pickle jug, tip jug, you know, humbled. And they play down home real music, and they all support each other. It's a good team effort down there on Lower Broadway and even across town and West End, and that's what I really like. I enjoy that more than anything. So.
Where did you come up with the name Bent Fender Band?
I didn't.
Who did? Is that Jimmy Lee thing?
No.
Actually, I was originally the Southern Comfort Band, and how I came up with that, I was just trying to think of a name, and it sounded like whiskey, and it sounded like the type of music I play. So originally it was, you know, Dave Cook and the Southern Comfort Band. And when I changed lineups with these guys, Fred Walker and Rick was already playing with me on drums, and you know, so when we changed lineups, Fred Walker's been in the music business here for a long, long time. He was the original Big Fish Band. His band was the original Big Fish Band. They've been around here long. And he played in a lot of other bands around town, rock bands. Oh, yeah. So, you know, he had a few names that they had thought about using. So, you know, I don't care what you call us. I mean, you know, because what's important to me is that I've got 4 other guys that have the same passion and dedication that I do. And it took me a while to find 5 guys that would come to band practice on a consistent
I
basis.
understand that one.
There's always somebody that didn't want to come. They want to show up and play and get paid, but they don't want to. They don't want to get better. They don't want to learn new songs. They just want to play the basic set, and you know what? That don't fly with me.
They don't have
Thank
an
you. Good night.
initiative to
Yeah.
do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
And so, you know, I finally got a good group of guys. I don't care what you call us. Just don't call us Rascal Flats, and I'll be all right.
Yeah.
You know, but
you guys have been playing around the area for a lot now. You have a big show coming up. And what is that? That's on the 24th, right?
that's right.
Yep.
We're going to, and this. I have to give the props to Fred Walker because Fred,
Yeah,
like I said, Fred's got a lot of roots in town. He's been playing a long time, and he's had some successful rock bands. You know, before the Big Fish Band, which is kind of a country class rock band, and then with us. But he knows some booking agents and stuff, and so he's helped us get our gigs down south. I've been still working my people up in Pasco County, and we work well together. Well, he had this booking agent, and she booked us at a bike night down at the St. Pete Pier. I think that was our test gig, right?
Yeah.
And apparently we got good reviews from that. And then he called me. I was in Nashville that weekend. He called me and said, Dave, I got a call for us to play a 90-minute set on a Wednesday night. He said, I don't know where it is, but, you know, he told me what they're going to pay us. And he said, you want to do it? And I said, I don't care. You know, I said, this is your booking agent? Yeah. Well, let's do it. Let's do it. You know, it'll be all right. You know, we want to impress her so that maybe we can get some better gigs in the future, some events, right? Then he calls me back. Well, she told me it's opening up the Leonard Skinner show down there. I said, oh, I'd have played that for free.
Yeah, no kidding. We're going.
Good thing it was a secret then.
Yeah. So, man, I tell you, I grew up listening to Skinner. I mean, you know, you think about the South. We do tailgate parties out in the middle of nowhere with a bonfire and a bunch of tailgates down and beers out and all kind of drinks and having a great time. And what are we listening to? We're listening to Hank Jr. and Leonard Skinner.
Yep.
You know,
Have
that's
you ever,
what we do.
Have you ever met any of the members of Leonard Skinner?
I have not.
Artemis Pyle lives in the area somewhere, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he does. He makes his way over to Seminole Music. He knows. I used to call him Spaghetti. He used to play with Captain Johnson back in the day. I think he actually jams with Josephine's Machine. He works at Seminole Music, and he usually has a drum clinic.
I
and
seen him
he's
play.
been over there.
He just sit in on drums somewhere. It was over in Largo, I think, somewhere a couple years ago. Real, you know, guy's an excellent drummer.
Oh,
you know?
yeah, he's
excellent drummer.
phenomenal.
That's why I knew he lived in the area. Now, have you ever seen the show before, Dave?
The Rock Slam show?
Yeah, the show, the Tbonez Rock.
I have come in on a Thursday night for another show they do in here. But
so you've never really watched the show?
I watched that one because I was going to be on it, and then I was gone this weekend. But I was already familiar with the format because I already knew what went on Thursday night.
And then, so Jimmy, you've watched the show.
Why are you
before,
going to
right?
do?
Oh, yeah.
Is there some
Oh, yeah.
surprise here that's going to come up?
No, it's the people. I do a Stump the Band, and it's the people that don't watch the show that get the questions.
Okay.
And if you get them right, you get a ding, and if you get them wrong, you get something else. It's usually
Well, I hope it's not a dong.
no,
No dome.
no dogs. No, we usually put about 240 volts through the chair, and
Oh,
you'll know
wow.
if you answered wrong. You know.
That's why you notice we're sitting on metal ones.
All right. So what are you going to ask me?
Okay.
Because I know he watched it last week. So.
What in the?
Okay, the first band that Leonard Skinner ever had. Do you know what the name of them were?
Who?
It was like 1964.
Really? That was 3 years before I was born.
First band, the name of them?
64, you said?
Yeah, 1964, huh?
I was born then, so I really don't know.
It was called the Noble Five, and they were from the Jacksonville. And the band changed in 1965 to My Backyard when Larry Junstrom and Bob Burns joined them.
Wow.
That's pretty cool stuff.
I got something to add here. Speaking of Fred Walker, the lead guitar player, he says that he's bringing his high school annual because he grew up over somewhere in Florida where Gary Rosington and all those guys are from.
Orange County, I think.
Yeah,
is what it is.
and they
Orange
actually
County.
they played one of his proms or something back.
His high school dance, I think, is what he
something
said.
like
Yeah,
that.
a couple of his dances.
So apparently they went to high school together or something like that, or they were, they played one of the dances over there. So he's got pictures in his high school annual, and he wants to get Gary Rosington to sign it. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully that'll happen this week.
that'd be
Hopefully
cool.
you can meet
That'd
him.
be cool.
Isn't that interesting?
The group settled on Leonard Skinner. And do you know where they got that name from?
Yeah, it was their coach.
And the coach, he didn't like long hairs.
Right, he didn't like long hair.
He was enforcing the long hair thing.
Yeah.
Trying to say.
tie it
Very
back,
cool.
bunch of
Yes,
girls.
you got that one right.
Hey!
Usually no one kind of hangs around, but he didn't even hear that. Medlock and Walker, they played drums. Medlock played drums and Walker played bass. They left the band for another southern rock band. They played with Blackfoot. Did you know that?
Wow.
I was going to either guess either Blackfoot
Or
or
Molly
Allman
Hatchet.
Brothers or Molly Hatchet. Yeah, because they're all kind of got that sound, 38 Special, you know. Because I
Right.
know that some of those. Okay, which one was it? 38 Special
38
that had
Special.
Yeah.
the brother.
Johnny Van
Johnny
Yeah,
Van
Van
Zandt,
Zandt, yes.
little guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, see, that's another one of those bands as I was coming up in the 80s that I loved. I loved 38 Special, man. They're one of my favorite bands of that time. So,
They're really good.
yeah.
They opened for a band. I don't know what year it was, but they opened for a band. You ever heard the song "Incense Peppermints"?
Incense and peppermints. Strawberry alarm clock, wasn't it?
Yes, you're right.
Wow. You get another
he-
ding.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
deserves
it's
it.
a
Hey.
double
Two
take for
dings.
that
I
one.
got a two thing.
Dave,
Yeah, all
If I
right.
had a bell over here, I'd ding it too, man.
Dave, you didn't get any dings yet, so
There you go.
Now, you guys both got your guitars. You want to do a song for us?
I'm gonna let Jimmy Lee start us off over there. He's gonna play a song from my high school days, actually. So
Yeah. Stuff we used to do on the road. All right. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wow.
Driving home this evening, could have sworn we got it all locked down. Hands boy believe it, way beyond the shadow of the town. Out on the street, I just trying to found somebody new. Ooh yeah. Who is it, baby? Who is he? Tell me what it means to you. Will be the first time things gone astray. Thrown it all away. Well, it cuts like a knife. Yeah, but it feels so way. Cuts like a knife. Yeah, but it feels so way. Times I've been mistaken. Times I thought I'd been misunderstood. Now wait a minute, baby. Did you see we did the best we could? We could. Took it up for granted. How was I to know you'd be letting go? Now it cuts like a knife. Yeah, but it feels so way. Well, it cuts like a knife. Yeah, but it feels so way.
You guys sing along too. Yeah.
Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Yeah. Well, it cuts like a knife. Yeah, but it feels so way. Well, it cuts like a knife. Yeah, but it feels so right. Yeah. La 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 la. Yeah. Well, it cuts like a knife. Yeah. La 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 la
you. Good job, Jimmy Lee.
Very cool.
Man.
You know,
Dina Nichols says, "Freaking awesome, Jimmy Lee."
Oh, thank you.
I was
You're
sitting
not so
here,
bad yourself.
and when you guys started singing, I wasn't looking at Jimmy. I was looking over at David and said, "He's not singing. Who the hell's singing next to me?"
That'd be me.
You know, he's like incognito. He's a phlebotomist and he wears his scrubs.
I sneak up
when
on
he
you.
takes his scrubs off and puts a hat on, man, can that guy fucking sing?
Well, I have to tell you how I met Jimmy Lee. Actually, I was doing an open jam up at Mac Daddy's, and this guy comes in with scrubs, and I've got my full setup there. I had an electric amp and everything else, and bass, drums. We had everything, and he comes in and he's singing. Hang on a second, I'm getting like hung here.
Getting all tangled up.
He comes in and he's singing. He did AC/DC and he blew it out of the water, man. I'm like, are you kidding me? Who can sing AC/DC? Nobody, except the tribute bands and AC/DC themselves.
Brian Johnson.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, are you kidding me? And that's kind of how I got introduced to him. And he hung around and played a few songs, and that's the only way I really knew him until we had a vacancy in our band, and we needed a bass player, and my friend Becky mentioned Jimmy, and I said, well, I've already seen him play. I like him. He did great. He played bass, and he sang great. Sounds like a good fit. So we needed coverage for like 3 gigs, and he's the only guy that could cover all 3 over that 2-weekend period, and here we are.
I think he can step in and just about play anything. That's the first time I ever heard you play guitar. And
Really?
I'm impressed.
Y'all
yeah.
pardon me
Wow.
a minute. I'm
I'm
getting
impressed.
tied up.
That's pretty much how I
You
started.
started as a guitar player.
Yeah, long time ago. As a matter of fact, it was 1973. I think I actually got my first guitar, and it was for Christmas. It was one of those old all-steel guitars, kind of hollow body, looked like an electric. And I was kind of like faking with it, and I got the basic idea, and my dad just kind of looked at me and said, "Don't try to make a hobby out of it. You'll never make any money at it. You'll never be any good." Well, here I am. I'm still making.
I'll show
some money.
you, right?
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much, and that's how I did. One of my very first bands before I ever got into junior high, which is where I put one of my bands together that we ended up playing a lot of our dances and everything else, and that was Shadowfax. And as a matter of fact, the drummer, my first drummer from junior high, is Frank Tbonez, who plays with Protocol.
Okay.
So he's still around. So
Jimmy, you went to school in Newport Richie.
yeah, goof high,
Goof
Goof high.
as we know it.
Did you go to school with Jim?
Yeah, as a matter of
Yeah.
fact, he was a year ahead of me, I think.
Yep.
Yeah,
Did
he
you
was
guys
81.
Ever get into any trouble at school or anything?
Not together.
Not together, but boy, I tell you what, there were several times there I thought I was doomed.
How long have you known Dave?
No, it's Becky's fault. If he got any trouble, it's Becky's fault.
Yeah, Becky's
My
that
friend
always
Becky's
got me
gotta
in
be
trouble.
Her fault. Yeah.
I remember I got in trouble in shop once for skipping,
good
and I had to
Lord.
bring donuts all week.
Oh yeah,
Whoa,
was that Mr.
what a
Weber?
punishment.
With the big-
No, it wasn't Mr. Weber. Who
What a
was it? I
punishment.
don't remember.
Yeah.
Jimmy, how long have you known Dave, Fred, Rick, and Bob?
Actually, back in the day, seeing some of the pictures in Fred's studio, I realized I've ran across this guy several times when I was on the road back in the day. When we had Club 19, Mark Twain, 49th Street Mining Company, Power Club, all those places that I used to play. And so technically, we kind of like, he sent me a friend request because he was trying to sell his tour bus, which was kind of funny. I was like, who is this guy? And it was like 6 months
And
later
of course,
when
Jimmy
I got
Lee
hooked
had the
up.
pocket cash to buy it.
Yeah, right.
just
Yeah,
like
I just
me,
went out
right?
there and bought it,
Yeah.
and that's how I go camping and pick up all my babes. But but no, and then 6 months later I realized who he was. I was like, holy cow! I can't believe. But this is the first time I've met Rick Bashaw, and he's turned out to be a really good drummer. I really like him, and these guys have got great attitudes. I mean, I haven't seen one ego, one temper tantrum, one I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that.
It's very
you're not gonna
important
make
stuff,
me.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
You all get along very
extremely
well.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really do, and we're all open to each other's suggestions, which is why I'm still here.
That's not him.
And and of course Bob Howes, the keyboard player, he used to play with some old friends of mine, Southern Snow.
So you knew him for a while, then?
Well, I've met him once or twice, but it wasn't until later on when we started clicking, at rehearsal. Oh, yeah, I remember you from blah, blah, blah. And he started playing something on the piano. What was it? Axe, Rock and Roll Party in the Streets. And I started playing guitar, and he just looked at me all funny. He goes, I didn't know anybody else knew that song. I was like, yeah, that's how old I am, bro. Right there with you.
How do you think country has evolved evolved throughout the years?
Well, from what I remember from a band I played with a long time ago, the guy he was kind of like a Johnny Paycheck kind of guy, and we were doing all the old, the take this job and shove it. When she gets behind closed door, and all that stuff. Of course, I was like, and then Eddie Rabbitt came along, and to me, that was like a really new twist,
It's a little faster.
Yeah, it was a little
stuff,
faster, had a little kick to it. And then, over the past 4 or 5 years, I really haven't listened to the radio. I used to have this really beautiful JVC stereo, didn't turn it on for 15 years. The only time I did was to listen to a CD or go over music I was rehearsing with a band. And then one day I unplugged it and I did something. I hit the button and it was on.
It works.
This thing works and it's really loud. And I heard this really kicking guitar thing, and I was just like, "Holy, what is this?" And so I started listening. Well, it was Trace Atkins, and it was a song called "Ride," and I was like, "Holy cow, is this what's going on?" So I actually started listening to country on the radio, and I couldn't believe how much of a '70s rock pop sound that they mixed with the old, twangy,
Right, with the old country stuff.
fiddle type stuff, and some of the stuff we're playing. I mean, it really kicks. It really excited me because it's like new to me, but yet it's familiar. So it stuck with me, and the new country music is really great.
It is. What was it we were talking about the other night that there was two big names on the stage together?
I don't remember. What other night?
That was the other night. They were talking about Steven Tyler and somebody else being on. Taylor Swift or something being on stage together?
Oh yeah, I saw something like that on Facebook. Yeah,
I remember.
My
No,
favorite,
I know.
my favorite,
About
my second favorite band, Taylor Swift.
I don't remember what we talked about on the
Look, y'all.
drive up here.
Ginkoba, it works for everybody.
No, it don't. I keep forgetting to take it.
It's okay, Joe.
Sorry, y'all. I'm taking the cowboy hat off because these things are
headphones?
not staying on my head.
That's cool, Dave.
Yeah,
So,
I know. Neither is mine.
Yeah.
Dave, I've been looking through your Facebook photos. You don't have the picture with the same girl in any of those pictures, do you not?
What's that now?
Now, you going through your pictures.
Yeah.
You always have a arm around a picture of a girl, right? Not a picture of a girl, but an actual girl there. But it's never the same girl twice. Why is that?
Well,
Or
because
am I wrong on that? They just changed their hairstyle and body shape.
most everybody in my pictures are friends of mine or either people I've met, out at gigs or whatever. So I have a lot of. I mean, my Facebook page is primarily for my people that I communicate with regularly and for promotion and that sort of thing. So I try not to get too personal on there. As far as my own personal stuff, I try to just keep it for everybody that comes out to see us and people that I appreciate seeing. And that's the quickest way for me to communicate with everybody that I have found is on the Facebook page. I can run home because I work a day job too, and then I'm running to a gig or band practice, whatever. I need to run in, answer text, throw out the event thing or whatever, and that takes too long to do right now too, is put an event up there and invite, 200 friends.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, that's primarily what I use it for, and I like to have photographs that were taken at, gigs or events that I've been to, and I like to post, pictures of me and some of my favorite people around town music people I respect. So that's pretty much what that's all about.
Yeah.
And just to add to that, I really don't, this happens sometimes, people wash out their personal stuff on Facebook or whatever. I try to keep it non-personal if at all possible. I mean, I've had a few moments where I got upset about something and I might have crossed the line and said something, but I try not to. I don't think that's the place you should do that. But so I try to just keep it, business and friends type things and keep the very personal stuff off if I can.
Jimmy, your transition from country rock or from country to country rock from what you were playing before, you're really versatile on that because you played with tribute bands. You played with just go to Jimmy's website on Facebook.
Jimmy and I played in a band together.
And
Barred for life.
For 2 years, I
You
think.
can see Jimmy in his spandex clothes.
And how
stuff.
many bars did you get barred from?
That's what was called.
None. As a
None,
matter of
okay.
No, that was great. That
Barred
was,
for
that was
life.
really good.
I'd be the one that would get barred from any bars because Jimmy Lee doesn't even drink over there anymore. So it'd be Dave Cook would be getting barred from. If anybody's gonna get barred in here, it's gonna be me.
No, never seen Jimmy drink a whole lot during a gig. Right?
No, never.
We have a guest in here. We just in the studio tonight. This is Cherie from WhereWillWeGoTonight.com. Hello, Cherie.
Terry, how you doing?
Doing good, doing good. I want to welcome you. Tell us a little bit about Go Tonight.
GoTonight.com. Great website.
Talk right into the mic.
Yeah, I'm not experienced.
No, that's okay.
I
You
am
don't
not
have-
a
You
musician
don't have to
or an
be. I'm not
entertainer.
either.
I just
Dude.
oh, okay.
There you go.
Put on
This
my-
way
Yeah,
you,
that'll
you
probably help
feel
you
as,
some,
as funny looking as one of us.
Yeah.
There you go.
Mickey Mouse
Almost.
ears.
Pilot, co-pilot.
Okay. Yes. Okay, so I'm not a musician, but I love music. I always have. And I discovered live music in Sarasota, Bradenton about 4 years ago and moved away from that area and missed it a whole bunch. And when I lived there, I used GoTonight.com to find my entertainment.
Right.
Yeah, and then I moved away, and I moved to a rural area, and I met the owner one day of the website, and I said, hey, can I help you grow this website? And so we're about 2.5 years later now, and the website's doing great. We have 11,000 visitors on our website
Very cool.
every
Very cool.
month.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes.
I
very
post
nice.
on it.
Great.
That's
Yeah.
I
incredible.
post on it.
Yes.
great.
We focus on venues. We want the venues to enter their shows
Sure.
where it's possible, and we help out all the time. There's a team of us, community music activists is what we're called, and we go out, we connect the dots, we enter shows, we meet musicians and venues, and that's what we do.
Now, how do you get your information for your website? Do the venues, the bars call in? Do the bands call in? Or
Yes.
send you a text or something?
It's a whole variety of things. We have artists that tell us where their schedules. We'll enter their schedules. We will. We read Facebook like it's a newspaper. Okay, that's a big one. And there's still bands posting on MySpace, and then there's other publications. There's a whole variety of things. And we got one gal that just kind of sits at home, and she does a lot of data entry.
I think it's a
Yeah.
great website. I went to Akron, Ohio not too long ago, and I thought, well, let me see if there's one up here. And I punched it in, nothing came up, and we had no idea what was going on where. The publications we used to have out the newspapers. What was that one? Creative Loafing. They
Oh,
used to
yeah,
tell why the
Creative
bands are.
Loafing.
They don't have anything like that up there. Nothing I could find anything. We couldn't find any live music at all up there.
Well, thing about Creative Loafing, I used that also when I lived down in Sarasota, and the problem with that is that it was old news. By the time it got published and the weekend rolled around, it was old. It
Right.
wasn't always current.
Somebody would have canceled out or
Yeah.
something like
Right,
that, or
yeah.
got sick, or
Right, so-
got bumped for some odd
But
reason. Yeah.
with the website, we change it in 5 seconds.
Cool. Yeah.
Just,
No, I
yeah.
think it's a wonderful thing because you can go a 10-mile radius, 25-mile radius, 50-mile radius, and you tell everything it's on there, whether they get food, no food, smoking, non-smoking
Right.
bar, whether there's a cover charge, which is important to a lot of people.
Yes, nobody wants to drive far these days
Right,
when they go out
yeah.
and party and stuff. And we also think it's great for tourists.
Yeah,
They're new to
exactly.
the area, and there they click on our website, and there's the venue, and there's the map, and it's like, oh, yeah, we can go there.
I think it's wonderful. I mean, you guys are just doing a lot for live music and keeping everybody going out to the venues and stuff.
Yeah.
How is the site funded? Advertisements?
Actually, it's kind of just self-funded right now, and we are looking for investors because we want to take this website to the next level. So yes, it's mostly a lot of donated time,
Very cool.
to be quite honest, and yeah, it's okay.
You-
None of us are complaining. We are having a blast. Okay.
I imagine you are. Yeah,
Yeah.
having a good time. I have a good time with the radio show here. Meeting so many different people. I
Yeah.
can't remember anybody's names, but I remember them. I barely remember Jim's name, but
Let me ask you a question. You said that you depend on bands and venues to give you information and sources like the Newport Richie Patch and stuff like that. What about the venues? How helpful are they? I mean, do they really want to get involved, or do you have to pull teeth?
The website started in Sarasota, so it has almost a year and a half head start before this area up here in northern Tampa. But in Sarasota, I can honestly say that most of the venues in Sarasota do enter all their own shows. They've just decided that this is the way to go, and they're all on board, and they really like it down there a lot. Up here, we're still working with the venues. And
what do you think they're I mean, it's free, correct?
Yes.
I mean,
yes,
why do you think they
yes.
turn down free advertisement to have somebody come to their bars to spend money? Why do you think they're not involved in that?
It's a good question. And I think it's because the venue management, they're busy. They're more concerned about their payroll, their inventory. Their days are consumed worrying about that kind of thing. And they always seem to depend on the musicians to bring in
Everything.
their
Everything, yeah.
people,
Crowd and
their
everything, yeah.
customers.
Depend on the musicians for everything.
Yes,
And,
but
and,
The
and
customers
while
and-
we're talking about this, we appreciate, as musicians, appreciate a show, what you're doing out there. And but we were like, when we go out and play, a lot of these bars, we may have never been in there before, and they're like, they need to have their own bass crowd first, and then we bring in an extra crowd. If they think that the band alone, especially when you got so many bands playing around town, that we're going to bring your entire crowd for the night, then they're not, their business isn't good yet. We want to come entertain your crowd and bring our people with us so that you have extra people that have never been in your bar before, and maybe they'll come back there again, and that's something I've found at a lot of places. We appreciate those places that we can go to where they already know what their bass crowd is. They want us to come entertain that crowd and then bring who we can and kind of promote it that way. And that's how we build good rapport. I can say this, there hasn't been any bar that we have played that we haven't been asked to come back yet. So apparently we're doing something right. But at the same time, it's just been an interesting journey. As I have only been doing this for 2 years as a full band, finding out how people run businesses and what they expect, and so
It's a trip, isn't it?
Yeah.
it's a trip,
it's-
man.
It's a trip.
Definitely a trip.
If you guys that have no idea only knew, you would really be amazed.
Yeah.
Do you feel like welcome in some of the places you play, and other ones you feel like you're being scrutinized, or?
Well, you're always scrutinized. I mean, there's a lot of people that go out that like to watch bands, and they have their favorite bands. And 9 times out of 10, what they'll do is they know where their favorite band is playing, but they're like, well, let's go check these guys out, see how they're doing. And then, of course, you've got, other musicians who are like trying to get out there. And then, some of them are like, oh, we can do that better than they can. How come we don't have the gig? Or
Scrutinizers.
Yeah,
You get scrutinizers
get
in
that,
anything,
but
yeah.
that's good because that actually lets the other musicians learn what they got to do to get their fan base going. And then, of course, like we play at Brandy's down St. Pete. I've never played there before. And the first time we played there, I thought we were kind of, when I was with them, because it was like a new lineup with Dave Cook and the
Dave,
Bender
yeah.
Band. And it's good to be the king, isn't it, Dave?
Well, I'm just wondering, why do you have this sitting here on the table? I'm just curious.
That was from a prior show.
Yeah, they
It's like the only hat that'll fit on my head with
will.
these ear things on.
They
right
were
here.
eating biscuits with Blue
Yeah.
Bonnet on it, and
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I can't
Just
believe
curious,
it's not butter.
Dave, you wear it well. You
Thank you
really
very
do.
much,
You
you
wear
know.
it well,
But
Dave.
but like I was saying, and then
That make me
after
the
a
queen?
while, if we play that
hope
club, and those people like us, and they go see their regular band, and the next time we're there, the word gets around, and then they're like, oh yeah, I remember seeing them about 6 or 7 weeks ago. They're back there. Let's go check them out, because they play some decent stuff, and they come out, and some of them line dance, some of them dance, and there's actually a lot of people that I've learned over the years, just because they're not up and dancing. If you look at the crowd while you're playing, if you can see them without all those lasers popping in your eye there, Jim,
yeah.
and you watch them, you can actually see them while they're talking, smiling, and if their foot's going
They're moving
along
that-
with the
You know they're
music,
getting into
they're
it.
having a good time.
Sure.
They're moving
That's
at
what
their
the whole
seats.
thing is about. Because I do it to subsidize my income, but I also do it because it's something. Ever since I saw the Beatles for the first time in 1968 on TV, and I was like, "Mom, that's what I want to do." I love them. And it's just one of those things. It's even for me, when I actually get a chance, when I'm not playing out and I haven't seen a band, like I wanted to go out and I wanted to see Cross-Eyed Larry. Well, I was on call, so I couldn't go.
Oh, you came Friday night to Seaside.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
I came.
you're
I
a
came
real
in
good
there.
supporter of live music, Jimmy
Right.
Lee. I have to say that. You go
Yeah.
out and see everybody.
And it doesn't matter if I actually like the person. I can actually say they're a good band.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
Whether you
there's-
like them or not, yeah.
yeah, exactly. Whether I like them or not, I'm a non-biased person, and there's a lot of musicians I like. Not so many people, but but some of the bands that we have here in Newport Richey and about in St. Pete and everywhere.
tremendous amount of talent out there.
Tremendous. I
Yes.
mean, you might as well call this the new L.A. because they're just coming out of the woodwork.
yeah, they
you
are,
know,
they are.
and it's
Well,
amazing.
Cherie, when you go out like I'm sure you go out like we do on the weekends when you don't play in a band, but when we're not playing in the band, we go out and see different
Yes.
bands and stuff like that. Do you find yourself being a barfly, anything like that?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I go out working.
Got to watch
it's my
about
job.
saying you're working in
I
the
go
bar.
out and we always make a point to drop off cards for Go Tonight and talk to the venues, the management there. We try to. As a matter of fact, Saturday night, I had a great night. We went to 3 places and talked to everybody. I had a very successful night and did some networking. And
You can tell what those places are.
Yeah,
It's
that's,
like-
Yes,
that's the first
yes.
place I met her was Seaside Inn, and
Yeah.
she was like, "Oh yeah, and this is our sign here." And
Yeah, no, I think
know,
I've
and I was
talked to her
like, "Oh, I
online
gotta find
before
her."
that, and then I seen the sign and I talked to you at Seaside.
Hey, Sherry, let me ask you a question. You go out in many different counties, right? Pasco, Pinellas.
Yes.
You go to Hillsborough, Hernando.
not so much Hernando, but yeah, south of that.
What would you say the state of live music was in the in the counties that you go out? Starting with the highest one would be
The best.
Pasco.
You mean like the best? Oh, you mean like the best?
No, I want to
county?
know what you think. Like live music is thriving there. There's good bands and people going out to see them.
Yes.
What do you think is probably the hottest county?
Sarasota.
Sarasota.
Yes. Yes.
a lot of blues guys. down
Yeah, a
there,
lot
too.
of blues. This is what I noticed. In Sarasota, there's a lot of blues, really good, solid talent down there in Sarasota. Then I come up here to Newport Richey, this area, and we have a lot of rock up here, a lot rock and country. Different flavor of people going out, and, so it's different. I don't get into Tampa too often. I go to Skipper's every now and then. That's a whole nother
That's-
ballgame.
yeah, that's-
that's another level.
Yeah.
But it's the music scene all over Tampa Bay is really thriving, and when I go out and I see really good musicians, I'm just like, this is why I fell in love with it, because I started visiting various places in Sarasota, and the musicians just blew me away.
Yeah. Do you play any instrument or anything like that?
I took piano lessons for 2 years.
Yeah.
It was hard.
I know. That's why I have so much respect for musicians.
That is a hard.
They're
To me,
very
that's a
hard.
hard instrument to read. I mean, I can look at a piano. It's easier for me to understand a piano by looking at it than it is a guitar. Okay, because you can see the notes laid out there, the sharps, the flats, and if you know where middle C is, you can kind of figure out. But you know what? Reading piano music with like the treble and the bass clef and all those notes at the same time, I don't know how they can read that and think it at the same time and play all those fingers and then the foot
Yeah.
pedals and stuff. I mean,
sustain and
piano's a thing
staccato.
that I've actually messed around with, but I could learn it by sound, but by also knowing where the notes are. You can see them.
Yeah.
Okay, where on this guitar, this has been hard for me. Even when I was trying to learn it in the 2 classical guitar classes I took in college, it was hard for me because I can't see it on the fretboard like I can see it on a piano.
You feel it, like, don't you? You
Yeah.
gotta know about where you're at with your fingers.
Yeah.
Well, now you've explained why I couldn't learn the piano. That's exactly right. I could not read all those little
That's
dots.
the hard part.
It was.
That to me, that's the hardest part of the piano. I mean,
Yeah.
it really is.
That's why I'm an epileptic now.
Hey, do you guys want to do another song, Cherise? You can stay. You can stay here. Come over right
Why don't you
here.
sing?
She's like, no.
It's
I don't think so.
karaoke. It's Burger King karaoke right now.
Do you guys-
All right, I got to change hats. If I'm singing a song, I got to change hats out of this Burger King thing.
No, I like the Burger King hat. I really did.
Actually, the other hat won't fit on my head with these ear things on, so
Yeah. No.
so at least I got my cowboy boots on. Maybe I
no,
can play something.
that don't fit at all.
Which one you doing there, Dabo? Okay.
Since we're playing at Skinner on Wednesday night, let's do a little Skinner song.
Play Freebird.
Well, now they call me Breeze. I keep rolling down the road.
nice.
Thank you so much.
Good job.
I'm a guitar nut.
I
I loved hearing those guitars.
too.
in
Thank you
my-
so
I'm a
much.
guitar
Well,
nut.
these are my
ears.
two beautiful Yamahas, and the newest one was played over there by my buddy Jimmy Lee that Donnie Brown hooked me up with at Sam Ash Music. So make sure you go to samashmusic.com. Ask for Donnie Brown, man. He's my buddy, man, and he hooked me up with that beautiful Yamaha over there. It's the newest edition.
Yeah, doing a Leonard Skinner song. Do you know what their big hit was in 1973?
1973.
I don't know what year they came out with these songs. I just like them.
Working
Was
for
it-
MCA.
Ooh, that smell.
Can I say?
Yeah.
It was ooh, that smell?
Was that it? Or was it?
He was just guessing.
Free-
I thought that was Jimmy Lee.
Freebird?
I thought you were saying that because of Jimmy Lee over there. Ooh, that smell.
Sure, you got that one. It's Freebird.
Yeah,
And you know that song only went to number 19 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts?
Wow.
And you know, you think it'd be number 1, but it went to 19.
Now, see, if you ask me Elvis questions, I could tell you that a lot of times I do
What was Elvis's favorite sandwich?
peanut butter and banana,
Yeah.
fried,
Banana.
Okay.
Fried.
Wow,
Right.
these guys
I
are
know it's
good.
right.
He does
Yeah.
fried peanut butter and
Yeah.
banana sandwiches, my friend.
What year Harley did Elvis have? He had a couple of them, but he had one he wrote on "Follow That Dream."
I'd like to follow that dream wherever it
Do you
leads.
remember the Harley he had?
That was a panhead, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
A pinhead or a panhead?
No, panhead.
Panhead. I think it was like in 1956.
Yeah, it was a 56 or
Yeah,
57
yeah.
black and white panhead.
Well, speaking of 56 or 57, one of the songs that I like to do is "That's All Right, Mama." And if I remember correctly, I had the 45, and I believe that was 56, 57, and on the backside it was "Treat Me Right." It was one of those 45s that actually had a good song on the backside. One of my favorite ones to listen to when I was a kid because there was two good songs on.
I was thinking, how a 45?
You remember the
you're
40?
that old?
Yes, I am
Yes,
that
we
old.
We
I
are.
remember 8-track tapes and all that good stuff. So, yeah. And my parents had a reel-to-reel, if you want to know that.
Yeah, I remember those.
Those are pretty cool.
I remember when a friend of mine's daughter found his records, and the first thing she said was, Ozzy Osbourne was in Black Sabbath, because it was back when Ozzy Osbourne
Right.
Yeah, it
was.
was same with Black
Yeah, and she had never seen records before. She thought it was something he threw around the room.
I still call them records whenever they release a new CD. I always
Yeah,
say,
yeah,
yeah, it's a new
yeah.
album.
They did.
It's a new album.
Yeah, it's like a Q-tip, whether it's
Came out.
cotton swab or not. You know.
Off their new album.
Well,
Reynolds rap.
It is an album. I mean, you got photo albums, right? You got music albums.
You're right.
They're albums.
It is.
So you're correct.
One way of putting down music. Jimmy Lee, is your goal still to write the dumbest song and have it go to number 1 in 3 weeks?
Actually, I'd like it to have it go number 1 for 10 weeks, so that way over a 30-year period in residuals. I mean, look at Billy Mummy from Lost in Space. The guy grew up, and back in the 80s, him and some girlfriend and another friend of theirs wrote a song called Fish Heads.
Yeah. Fish.
And to this
Fish
day,
Heads.
I know
Remember
he's
that
still
one.
getting,
He wrote that?
yeah. And they don't play drums.
Remember that
And it
one?
was like the dumbest song
Yeah.
in the world, and it was
Fish head,
actually
fish head, lottie
Roly
dotty
fish.
fish.
yeah,
head.
roly poly fish heads.
roly-
Is that what it was?
And it was number 1 for like 2 weeks. You got to be kidding me.
So have you started on anything like that?
Actually, there's a whole folder in the file cabinet.
I bet you there is. It's
Yeah.
right at the back here,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. It's oh man, there's a lot of them, a lot of crazy stuff.
Dave, have you seen the pictures of Jimmy Lee on his Facebook of him in his
Oh
spandex
my
pants?
God, the spandex and the long hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up with that in the '80s, and that was kind of like, I kind of had a problem with all these guys wearing makeup. I like their bands and
More
everything.
makeup
and
than your
some,
mother.
Some of them look better than some of the girls walking around. But
Yeah.
Oh,
know,
you wouldn't believe how many times my ass got grabbed.
Yeah.
It's funny.
But-
Turn around, hey, the guy's got a mustache.
that was really
Dude looks like a lady.
Yeah, exactly.
But that was really the only problem I had with 80s rock. I loved the sound, but I was like, why do they have to dress up and spike their hair? Well, it's like all the aerosol hairspray and
was the
and
glam
all the
factor,
tights and
yeah,
stuff.
the
I'm
glam
like,
factor.
you don't really have to do that. Guns N' Roses didn't do that, did they?
No, they didn't.
No, they just
No,
were
they
rockers,
Get
just-
up
you know?
and just rocked it out.
They did use a lot of aqua in it though, especially Axl Rose. He
Man, I'll
pulled
tell
all
you
that
what.
stuff up and he
That's
looked
what
crazy.
Slash used to hold his hat on, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like glue.
But some of those bands, they didn't have to do that, and I'm glad they didn't. But at the same time, I still love the music, but that part of it could have been. That didn't have to be a part of it. The music was good by itself.
It's theatrics as
Yeah,
well
it was-
as the music.
It was
Yeah, it was
very
called
much
glam.
theatrics.
It's theatrics.
Glam
Yeah.
rock. But I loved
Yeah.
it. I have to say I did. I can admit it. So
It was-
I even play some Poison songs every now and then and sing them at karaoke.
It
So
was a phase everybody went through, and then it's gone now, and we're back to something different. now.
Right.
Jimmy, do you still have those spandex pants?
Actually, I retired in their bicycle pants now. So when I get a new 10-speed, you'll see me riding around town with my red and black and green spandex. Yeah, I got them down to the knee now, and
Jimmy
I wear
Lee,
helmet.
before you go for a bike ride, you still doping?
Oh, like
No, because I like to keep both of my bearings.
You guys lost me there.
that was a good one.
Neil Armstrong.
I have no
Yeah.
idea what they were talking
Well,
about. I got
Not
you.
Neil Armstrong.
No, he's
Lance.
gone now.
That's
Great
Lance
American.
Armstrong.
Lance
Lance
Armstrong.
Armstrong.
Right,
Lance
okay.
Armstrong.
Okay, you guys got
He was an Armstrong.
Well, when you wear pants like that, it kind of hurts your bearings. So I would say,
But
if you
boy,
only-
the
if-
breeze is wonderful.
Well, we just caught up the breeze, my friend.
Yes, we did.
Now, where else are you guys playing besides on the 24th? You're doing it's Ruth Eckerd Hall.
Yeah,
Correct.
And how much are tickets?
I really don't know.
I actually got an email today from Ruth Eckerd Hall, and they start, I think, at 60 something.
I'll find out right
and
now.
And then if you go up to the VIP thing, it's like $100 and something. But guess what, folks? You don't have to have tickets to come see us because we're playing at the outside bar, which
Yes.
I didn't even know they had an outside bar there.
That's the
Yes.
smoking area back over there, isn't it?
They got a bar out there. They say it's on the back side of the building. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
really nice. It's in
Yeah.
a big old cement area.
Yeah, a big patio area.
Yeah, and
time
it's-
So folks, whether you got
Chicken
tickets
wire.
or not, you can come and just party with us, and you ain't got to pay a cover charge. Just come on in.
Yeah,
What time you
come
guys
on in.
start?
6:30, I believe.
you guys are
6:30 to
giving
8.
away a pair of tickets too, aren't you?
I wish. Hey, I hope I get a pair of tickets to get in because if that place sells out, they ain't giving us anything.
Well, they should honor you for drawing people in there, right?
I wish. I
That's
wish.
what
But
I mean.
I'd be very honored.
Terry and I were just there to see the Australian Pink Floyd. Excellent place to see
Wonderful
any
show,
concert.
wonderful.
Oh yeah, they're fantastic. I've seen Journey there. I
See, they don't
Yes
actually
there.
have the time that we're starting on there, but we're doing an hour and a half before the concert starts, and I think the concert starts at 8. So
Tickets
Yeah.
tickets are 61, 76, 96, and 186 for VIP package, including meet and greet, and you can get those tickets right now from
Yeah.
Ruth Eckerd Hall.
Well, I hope that they leave about 10 or 12 of them so that we can all get in and see them. Hopefully, our booking
Yeah.
agent will kind of hook us up
They
there.
should do some comps for you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
I don't think I heard you guys say who's the headliner. You've been talking about Ruth Eckerd Hall,
Leonard
but
Skinner.
Leonard Skinner.
Leonard Skinner is the band.
I guess I was sleeping.
No, that's
okay.
all right. That's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay.
I think we only mentioned it once at the very
Yeah, I
beginning.
mean, we do local live music. We don't
Right.
pay any attention to that big
Right.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I bet
We're in the
you-
minors,
I
they're in the
bet you
majors.
if we went to wherewillwegotonight.com right now,
And I will make a
and
point.
looked, it will be on there.
I will make a point to make sure Dave
Dave-
Cook
As
is
As a
on
matter of
there.
fact, I
Bands
think
on
I
there.
actually posted one of the posters that I made on wherewillwegotonight.com. I think I did
Check
on
that
the
out.
Facebook page.
Awesome.
Now there's three guys that weren't here tonight with us. Fred Walker for one. Do you think Fred's got that massive motorhome or a tour
Oh,
bus
yeah,
for sale?
absolutely.
40
Beautiful.
footer. Do you think he'd let me take that for a test drive up to maybe Cleveland or something?
For a price.
We'll bring a few friends. Well, it's a test drive. I may be interested in buying it.
Yeah, you
I'll
have to
take
rent it.
I'll have to take a few people along just to get their opinion on whether I should buy this coach or not. Have you guys been in it?
I
No,
have.
I've seen the inside, and it's
It
absolutely
is
gorgeous.
very
pictures of it.
nice, very nice. We,
Very
as
nice.
a matter of fact, the first time I went down to practice with the band, he showed me the bus. We sat up there, and he told a bunch of stories about it and everything. It was great, man. We had a great time. It's a very nice bus. He actually rented out, believe this or not, to David Cook. When David Cook came from American Idol fame, he played in Tampa, and that booking agent that got us this deal with Leonard Skinner, she called him up and said, "Hey, David Cook needs to rent a tour bus. Would you rent the bus?" And he said, "Heck yeah,
I know him.
So he rented his, yeah.
That's
and then
pretty
he
cool.
told me, he said, "Dave, I know you're going to Nashville this weekend, but I'm renting Dave Cook my tour bus." Oh, really?
Yeah, the pictures I saw, it looked pretty nice. I mean, there was no like beer cans that had been smashed against the wall or
No,
anything.
no.
There must have been some civilized
But
people in there.
I bet you if we took it out on the road on the gig, there'd be a few
Yeah.
beer cans and things, around in there. It might not look as clean as it does when he's trying to sell it.
I love that table in there. The table's
Yeah,
a
it's-
guitar,
it's
man.
shaped
That's
like
like
a guitar. That's pretty cool.
That's a bomb.
Yeah, good look on selling that, man. It's a nice little rig there.
Mm-hmm.
Rick DeShaw, he's from Brentwood, Long Island, New York.
I believe so.
You know what? I'll tell you the band that he played with around here was a band called String Fever was one of them, and they did country and bluegrass stuff. And that's the one I remember him telling me. I know he's played with a lot of people around here. A lot of people know him, and he's been like the house drummer for the Wednesday night open jam at Whiskey River up there. He's been doing that. So a lot of musicians know him, and we're lucky to have him. He's a very good guy. And
He's a good drummer. He's
yeah.
really,
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah. Now, do you know what other drummers inspired him?
I do not. I actually wanted him to come tonight. He's actually having a band practice. He plays in church also. So they have their band practice tonight. So he couldn't be here. I did ask him if he'd come, and he wanted to say hello, but he can't. So
that's fine.
because he's such a dedicated musician.
Sure. No, we're just glad to have you guys here. We really are.
Good. I'm glad to be here.
Well, thank you.
Bob Haas, where is he from?
I think he's from St. Pete, isn't he?
That's where he lives now. You know, I don't know his entire history. I know he's been playing music for a long, long time. But unfortunately, I can't give you that entire history.
No,
I don't know that.
How did he connect with you, Dave?
Well, I'll tell you, he was playing with Fred, so he's played with Fred for a long time. And some of the bands that Fred was in, and the original Big Fish band, and then he also, I think he plays with a band called the Raccoons or something. I don't know.
Yeah, something like
He's
that.
got another band he plays with too. But I just met him when I hooked up with Fred, and I hooked up with Fred through a guy named Donnie that played bass with the Big Fish band for a long time, and also played with Chad Montana. When Fred quit playing with Big Fish, Brent and Donnie and Larry went off to do something with Chad Montana. So I actually hooked up with Fred and Bob through Donnie, and Donnie played bass for a while, and then he went on to form another band too. So that's how we picked up Jimmy Lee. But that's how I met the guys, was really through the former Big Fish band.
Big Fish band, huh?
Yeah.
Oh. Now, after your gig on the 24th, where are you guys else? What other gigs you have going on?
We'll be at the Sandbar. As a matter of fact, in Newport Richey, right across from Gulf Harbor's, behind the IHOP there.
What date is that?
That would be the 26th.
This Friday night at 9:30.
Yeah, 9:30.
And we'll have the whole band going for you there. We're playing a party down in St. Pete Saturday, but I tell you, we're really busy throughout the rest of the year, almost every weekend. We're very happy to finally, we're going to get to play Cocktails on November the 30th, I believe.
Yeah.
It's I don't have my calendar sitting in front of me, but I believe it's November the 30th, which I
Yes,
think
November
is a Friday.
30th, I believe. Yes, it is a
And
Friday.
that's a great venue. I've known Frank and Margie for a long time, and I love what they've done with the new bar.
They love me.
They got a great stage and
They're one
and
of
lights.
they're one of the good promoters of live music.
Yeah.
They really go all out to let people know what's going on. They cooperate with you guys pretty good, don't
Oh
they?
yeah, they
Yes, they have.
Them and Seaside Inn.
Seaside,
Seaside
yes.
does, and you want me to list a few? That
Yeah,
I know?
list a few.
Please do.
Promote them all.
Sure.
The Sandbar,
Sandbar, very good. Marcy up
Bourbon
there.
Street.
Bourbon Street.
Yes, they're doing great.
Good.
I mean, Bourbon Street and Sandbar both get a lot of page views,
Very
I must
cool.
say. And Seaside is right up there with them. Seaside used to be up there top, but they've kind of come down a little bit when Bourbon Street came along. I guess it's just a
Well, yeah.
competition thing.
Yeah.
But there are venues up here that are definitely opening up their eyes and realizing that GoTonight.com is a great way to get their free advertising. Get the word out. So.
Yeah, I don't know how many times I pick up my phone and I'll
yeah.
look up the
We look on
batch
it
or
all
I'll
the
look
time,
up
yeah.
where will we go
Yeah.
tonight. They're both very, very handy.
Yeah.
Well, if you get up to the Hernando area, the Spring Hill area, I mean, we're playing a bar called the Horse and Crown, and we've had a good time in there, and they've been good to us. They promote in the biker magazines and stuff like that, so they already pay for advertising for their bands that come in there.
Do you guys advertise in Scooter Goods?
I believe that's the one they're in. I don't want to, off the top of my head, I don't want to say the wrong one.
The Big
But
Ragu.
it's the smaller one. Yeah, the Big Ragu. Yeah,
Yeah.
The
It's a
smaller
little
one.
pocket
Yeah.
edition.
Yeah, the old pocket edition. That's
That
the
way,
one.
if you're a biker, you can stick it in your pocket.
Yeah. Well, they advertise in there, and I appreciate that so much. That
Joy-
they promote out there.
Joy is still booking the bands up there.
So, I've dealt with a couple of people, depending on who calls me up on the phone, but they are really good supporters of us, and we greatly appreciate that. We've got 3 more gigs, I think, from now to the end of the year, and Seaside is a very it's been very good.
Jeff is a great guy.
Jeffrey
he's a
and
great guy.
I love Jeff.
Christine and Donnie, they've been very good to me. As a matter of fact, that was really the first good bar I got into play as a band, really because of Wally Fox. Wally Fox had let me get up and sing a song with him in November, and I'd put a band together in the New Year's Eve 2 years ago was the first time I actually played a full band gig, and then I think I was in Seaside in February, and thanks to Jeffrey for helping me out there, and they've been
a great guy.
They've been good supporters of me. I play a couple of duo gigs a month in there, and then we usually have the full band at least once a month. So that's one of the venues we really enjoy playing. I mean, they're good folks.
Now, what's the farthest you guys have traveled out of the area? Just St. Pete or something like that?
Yeah, St. Pete, and the
one
farthest north has been Horse and Crown so far.
Yep.
Actually, no, it wasn't. It was Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah,
we
that's
did
right.
Sleepy
Further up
Hollow. Oh, it was hot up there that day. Outdoor gig in the middle of the summer, but a great biker venue, and I love out there. It's out in the country and good barbecue and airboats. But that's the farthest north I've been. The farthest south for us as a band together has been Brandy's in St. Pete, I believe.
Oh. Jimmy, any parting words here we get?
Parting words. Well, of course, I'd like to say good luck to my niece Megan, who's just started, I guess, out on her singing career. Of course, she gets it from Uncle Lee.
You showed me
good
a
luck,
video.
Megan.
Yeah, there is a video of her, and hopefully we can get her to do some pop rock country, some Reba. I'd really like to hear her do that. And she's working with John Tbonez, who does a lot of live shows in the area. I mean, he's kind of like, I went to high school with him too.
And he
was a
did it
lower
back
class
then,
one.
too.
Yeah, he did it back
always
then.
did
He used
that
to do this
vaudeville act.
he used to
Yeah.
do this fantastic thing where he'd actually imitate Carol Channing.
Yes.
Which, if you closed your eyes and listened, you would think it was
He was
Carol
good.
Channing, and he was
He did
really
Harpo
good at it.
and-
Right, he did
yeah.
all that stuff. So there you go, Johnny Tbonez. There's your plug. And he's got those live shows. It's usually $10 to get in, but they put on a really good production.
Yeah, it is a
And
very good production.
of course, there's a lot of the local bands that I really like to thank for keep going out and playing there, because if they didn't go out and play, then we wouldn't be able to play some of the same clubs. Like
Sure.
Mojo Dragonfly, Sanctuary, who was it? Cross-Eyed Larry, Lost and Found. All those guys. I mean, as long as they're out there pumping, we're going to be able to go out there pump, and everybody's going to have a good time. And that's what it's really all
a
about.
good thing. And thank you, Cherie, for coming out tonight. You're going to be having your own radio show, I hear?
Well, we're discussing it. We're thinking it over.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome
welcome
to
on our
stop
show
in
anytime.
anytime you got
Anytime
something
you want
going
to.
on.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Seriously,
Yes.
just give us
Yeah,
a call, or
just
even just knock
listen.
on the door, or just even come right through.
Just stick
Hey, I
your
got
face
something
in
to
the
tell
window,
everybody.
Yeah.
Okay,
Space in
I
the
will
window.
definitely keep that in mind.
Yeah.
I will. And now I got the phone number, so I might call in.
So that will work
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I
Or
mentioned that to
Jim's
you a
right
couple
here
weeks
on
ago.
Facebook, he'll answer your questions,
Yeah.
most of the time.
I just want to say I want to thank everybody that is a supporter of GoTonight.com and all the support we get from all the musicians and the venues and the people out there that use the website. And, of course, our little team of people, we have about 10 of us working on it all the time, and I do thank every single one of them daily.
Imagine you guys are pretty busy with that.
It
There
is.
10 of
It's
you
basically
working
my
on it?
second job, okay? And it's actually not a job. It's a hobby,
Yeah,
okay? I don't
that's-
earn a dime doing this. It's just
You
fun.
spend money.
Yeah. No, it's
That's
all
the way
fun
it is with
stuff.
my
That's-
band.
Yeah.
I have a
I work-
regular job too. Then this is the fun stuff.
I
Yeah,
work two jobs.
exactly.
I work 2 jobs to support my musical career.
There you go.
I'm with you there, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we understand.
All those lights? Yeah, that's 6
Yeah.
months of paychecks right there, baby.
Yeah, but it gives me a nice tan.
Yeah, I know. Get the hair growing in between your fingers.
Get my laser
Hey,
treatment.
you'll never have pimples again with all those laser lights, man. It's just like, burn them right off.
Yeah.
Dave, I want to thank you for coming out tonight. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it so
Always-
much for having us.
Always looking forward to seeing you guys play. I've been seeing you
you.
a couple times, and we're going to be there at the Skinner show.
Awesome.
Great, thank you.
We may not stay for Leonard Skinner, but we're just definitely going to come see you guys.
Hey, just
Appreciate
bring
it.
your camera, and I'll let Jim come up, because seeing how he has stage experience, he's more than welcome to come up on the stage and take pictures from behind us to get the.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
audience
you were going
saw
to say
that.
I can come up and play Sweet Home Alabama or something.
No, we can't do no Skinner
We're
because
not
it's a
doing
Skinner
Skinner.
show.
Just kidding.
But I don't know. I might throw the bass at you and put you on the spot.
That's very cool.
I'll be the one out in the audience going, "Play Free Bird."
Yeah. Sings along and he knows every word, but boy, he's off key.
No,
Let's get out there and see the Dave Cook Band and Bent Fender
The
Band.
Bent Fender Band, yeah.
Bent Fender Band. And there's many ways of finding out what's going on in the Tampa Bay area. There's Where's the Party? They have a show here on Rock Slam Radio. Tim Cronin does a weekly blog in the new Port Richey Patch.
Yeah, Timmy, we love Timmy, too.
Yeah, and then we have Cherie here with wherewillwegotonight.com. That gives you all the information on whatever you want to do.
And Sherry, I have a bumper sticker on my tip jug
There
of
you go.
yours.
Yeah.
Good
Yay.
job.
Right
Thank
across the
you.
top of it.
Thank you. And by the way, you can just call it GoTonight.com. We've
Okay.
shortened. We're working on shortening the
so
name.
you don't have
you
to
know?
type the whole
Good.
thing
Yes.
in. That's very cool.
Good
That's very
for
cool.
getting online.
So let's get out there and support live music and support the venues and support the bands. Next week there'll be no show, but on the 5th I'll have Bike Night Babes are going to be here, so we're going to have some eye candy in the studio. Here.
Ooh, I can't wait.
Ooh, yeah, I may show up just.
We're going to do a 2-hour show that night?
Yeah, we'll do a 2-hour show.
We can come here and hang out. We'll bring some Bartles and
Sure,
James or
yeah,
something.
Bartles and James. All right.
I'll have to be sure to
Bring
take
some
my.
Annie Green Springs or something like that. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for listening, folks, and good night.
Hey, thank you, y'all.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
All right.
Hold on. We still might be
That was fun.
Thanks, guys.